I want to spend a little time today on Donald Trump, the president, and how he is governing, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So, everything to Trump is personal. Everything. He's not like most presidents and most politicians where, they forget about things after 24 hours, they're mad, and then they forget. Trump does forget about things, but he incorporates his policy vision on a personal basis, right? What he wants, what he believes. And so you see a lot of personal stuff. And right now there is a controversy, not a major one, but somewhat of a controversy about how he's treating certain people in his past, okay? Now, some say it's revenge. Others say it's retribution. Let's define the two terms first. Revenge is to harm someone as punishment for harm they have done to you. And I think every human being on the planet has at one time or another either committed revenge or contemplated it seriously. Retribution is deserved and severe punishment. Okay? So that is, let's say, the Nazi Party in Germany or the Tojo regime in Japan. You annihilated them. We annihilated them with the help of our allies, because if we did not, they would continue murdering people all over the world. That wasn't wrong for us to annihilate them. I know some people say Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we've gone through all that. But for me, if I'm the commander-in-chief, I'm the president, I'm annihilating both of them. I'm not shooting prisoners of war or anything like that, but it's total victory. Okay? And if they don't stop, they die. Retribution. Again, if you did not do that, these people would continue their evil. It's like that in real life. You all know people who are evil. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Most of us know people who are evil. They hurt people time and time and time again. And some of them are stopped and some of them aren't. If you stop a person like that, you have to have the facts and the evidence. Okay? That's retribution, not revenge. All right. So let's look at 4 human beings that Donald Trump is after. John Bolton, former National Security Advisor. Mark Esper, former Defense Secretary. Bolton wrote a book and said that Trump was stunningly uninformed and unfit to be president. Esper wrote a book and said that Trump was unprincipled and wanted to shoot protesters. Okay. So those guys are in the revenge zone. Donald Trump is, he took away their national security thing, and if Trump could hurt him, he'd hurt him. I don't know about the retribution there because I don't think Bolton and Esper can do any further damage. It could be wrong, though. 2 others. Former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, and Director of European Affairs for the U.S. National Security Council, Alexander Vindman. Milley wrote another book. Milley was quoted in Bob Woodward's book as saying that Trump is a fascist and a dangerous person. Vindman testified in front of Congress in November 2019 about Trump talking to Zelensky in a, quote, improper way. All right? Now, Milley and Vindman are both finished. Again, just like Esper and Bolton. They can't do any further harm, but Trump has got them on the radar screen. Law firms. There are 10, maybe more, that Trump is denying any federal access. No business can be done. Paul Weiss, awful firm, terrible, I had to deal with them. Covington and Burling, Perkins Coie, Wilkie Farr, and Gallagher. Weiss folded. It's giving Donald Trump $40 million in pro bono legal services, free. So did Farr and Gallagher, $100 million. Perkins Coie They represented Hillary Clinton in 2016 up to their eyebrows in the phony Russian investigation. Covington and Burling, they're representing former special counsel Jack Smith. Now here, all four of those firms, in my estimation, could and will, once Trump leaves the presidency, do damage to people. This is retribution here to me on these four and others too. Okay, because they're in business to hurt people for money. That's what they do. They hurt people for money. Okay. Now here's one. This is an interesting call. 60 Minutes. So Trump has ordered an investigation by the Federal Communications Commission. Why? Well, last night, here's what he said on social media, quote, "Almost every week, 60 Minutes is being sued for billions of dollars for the fraud they committed in 2024 presidential election with their interview of failed presidential candidate Kamala Harris, mentions the name Trump in a derogatory and defamatory way. But this weekend's broadcast tops them all. They did not one, but two major stories on Trump, one having to do with Ukraine, which I say is a war that never should have happened if the 2020 election had been rigged. In other words, if I were president, and the other story is having to do with Greenland, casting our country as led by me, falsely, inaccurately, and fraudulently. I am so honored to be suing 60 Minutes, CBS Fake News, and Paramount," unquote. Okay, so CBS News, is this revenge or retribution? There's no doubt 60 Minutes is trying to get Donald Trump. That's a fact. There's no balance there at all. New regime over there, relatively new. Okay, they hate him. They hate his guts. They hate everything he stands for. They're trying to hurt him. Now, by hurting Trump, you hurt the country, I think, by trying to destroy the president of the United States. So I'm putting this in the retribution column here. How about you? Finally, this is not unusual, President Trump's revenge or retribution take. I'll give you 5 modern presidents who were pretty much as bad as Trump. Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, and John F. Kennedy used his brother, Bobby Kennedy, who was Attorney General, to get who he wanted gotten. Lyndon Johnson, the absolute worst, and Richard Nixon, who had a printed enemies list. Now, I write about all of that in Confronting the Presidents. So this isn't new. These guys, and I'm not doing whataboutism. I'm just taking the historical record and showing you that once a person is elected president, a lot of them go after people. There's no doubt that that has happened and is happening. Now, I am sympathetic somewhat to Trump's jihad, let me use that word, against his opponents. Because for 30 years, ever since I started doing national commentary, I've been attacked by vicious, horrible people who hurt other people for money, for power, for ideology. I know who they are. Now, some of them I have taken care of, and some of them I haven't. I can't, for whatever reason. But my instinct is to take them off the board, not hurt them physically or anything like that. I do it all legally, all right? Because they don't just do it to me. They're just evil, in my opinion. But I've experienced the evil directly, up close here. And, you know, when I see them, and they never, if somebody apologized, if somebody said, look, I'm sorry, I maybe overdid it, I don't really like you, but I shouldn't have used those tactics, I would forgive them. I'm compelled to do that because I'm a Christian. I have to do it. But they don't. They're arrogant, and they do it to other people, and I watch them. So I have to be honest, my emotion lies in the Trump area, and that's the memo. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.